Greetings, fellow Toastmasters, and to all those with whom I share this journey called life. Today, I am reflecting on my presentation mastery path and pathways. This path took a lot longer than any other Toastmasters learning module program that I've done in my 5.5 years in Toastmasters. Today, I want to share with you why that was and explain some of the lessons that I learned along the way. You have to go back, however, to January of 2018 to get a little bit of the story behind this path. In January 2018, I was celebrating my 2-year Toastmasters anniversary. I was an area director, a club officer. I was all but 6 months through with my traditional program Distinguished Toastmasters Award, or DTM. And Pathways was coming to our district in February. I was so excited. I was at a leadership training in January, talking to some good friends of mine who happen to be members of the trio. And I said, you know what? I've been studying this pathway stuff, and I bet if you started right when we can start on February 13th, and you had 2 paths, and you took a club office and a district office, and you did all the other things, you could get a Pathways DTM by July of 2019. That's a year and 5 months. Yes. And my friend looked at me and said, I'll take that challenge. Oh no. And my other friend looked at me and said, you're going to need a district office. Ooh, yeah, I guess I am. But I was off. As soon as Pathways started, I started 2 paths. I was giving a speech a week. I joined a 3rd club. I was a member of 2. I joined a 3rd club. And in June, I joined a 4th club. By July, I was club president. I was division director. And I was on level 4 of 2 paths. Woohoo! I was excited. And then I discovered the level 4 slump. Those of you new to Toastmasters, you might not have experienced this. Some of you know what I'm talking about. Levels 1 through 3 focus on public speaking. And you have a lot of opportunities to speak and give a speech and improve your skills. However, when you get to level 4, chances are you're doing a project and it takes a while. Level 5's the same way, maybe even longer. So now you're working on very long projects and you don't have much opportunity to speak. Me, I'd been speaking once a week. I was used to it. I was enjoying it. So I needed another path. And I signed up for presentation mastery. I was so excited. I had my icebreaker scheduled for August 6th. That was a Monday. On Thursday, August 2nd, I'm in the van on my way to work. My phone rings. It's my brother-in-law. Hey, bro, what's up? He said, my eldest daughter was murdered last night. My heart stopped. I was so shocked. Not having children, my nieces are everything to me. And I was devastated. I canceled the speech I had scheduled for that day, took off the rest of the week at work, and spent time with my family. But I knew I had to give that icebreaker speech. And it was the hardest speech that I ever gave, and still is at times. I had to rework it. The speech I had planned, out the window. I had to talk about my grief. I had to talk about what I had experienced. And going forward, in the next 8 months from that, I gave 8 speeches. They were all in presentation mastery, but that was all that I did as far as speaking. I was club president. And in that executive council, there was one member whose sense of humor did not mesh with my emotional state. Everybody else laughed it off. I could not. As I worked through all of those level 2 projects, learn your leadership style, learn your communication style, mine always come out the same. I'm the person who does not like conflict. And to me, that sense of humor was conflict. Fortunately, since my other officers laughed, I could laugh too and work my way through, but it was difficult. I got through the rest of the year. I had some progress on my paths and some progress on my DTM. And at the end of the year, I was very thankful to not be club president anymore. And I never wanted to do that again. One surprise from that, though, was that I won Division Director of the Year. I was not expecting that. I had worked hard. I thought, oh, wouldn't it be cool? But I wasn't expecting it at all. And so it was a surprise. It was such an honor. I finished in August those other 2 paths. So that part's out of the way. And I worked my way through the year on bits and pieces because I'd started other paths. So I did a lot of those other paths works because I was at level 4 in presentation mastery. I had the opportunity in early 2020, before everything went crazy, to finish the level 5 required project. And I worked on through the year and finally had an opportunity this year, I believe, to do both of the level 4 projects on the same day. And it was done. As I progressed through the year and had become club mentor to UT Health Speaks, I realized that I had the opportunity to give some educational awards away. So I asked Steve and got permission to join UT Health Speaks so I could give you my level 5 of presentation mastery. And I had one more required speech that I had to do before my Reflect on Your Path. I had chosen a year before to do lead in your volunteer organization. And I was going to do immediate past president. Maybe not the best idea. I had the required 360-degree evaluations and everyone said, what's that? I'll evaluate you on VPE because I know what you do as VPE. I see you all the time. Okay, that's fine. So I thought, well, still, I'll give it anyway. It's election time and I'll prepare to talk about that. However, as it turned out, the elections in my club closest to home happened the week before I was going to give that speech. I had told the immediate past president that I really didn't necessarily have to be VPE again. If someone else wanted it, they could have it. And if they didn't, I'd take it up because it's my favorite role. Well, someone else wanted to be VPE. So great, I was free. They filled all the roles except one. And guess which one that was? Yes, it was president. And as I looked at the situation, I realized that the people who were most likely, who were eligible and most likely and most able to be president this year were the two-time past president who was currently immediate past president, the other past president who was taking another office, and a whole lot of brand new baby Toastmasters. And I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, you've got to do this. Ugh, I didn't want to do it. And I probably had a little drama involved in that. But I said, well, yeah, it is what it is. I'll do it. I was already home, but I went back and I looked at the lead in your volunteer organization pathways module, because you should always go through the module, even if you've done them before. And I've done this one twice. Now, granted, I've done Icebreaker 6 times already, plus one. So yeah, I'm pretty bad at that one. but it's always good to go back and review again. And when I went through that module, I realized that I was looking at this all wrong. That I had looked at the role of president as I had experienced it in the worst year of my recent life. No, that's not going to work. So I said, you set yourself some goals, girl, and you decide how you're going to make this happen. I decided that I'm going to finish that Pathways DTM in July or August. And for all of my roles, I'm going to focus on mentoring. I'm going to focus always on mentoring members. Of course, I'm still a VPE in one club. I'm going to focus on mentoring everyone in UT Health Speaks because that's my job as club mentor. But I want to focus on mentoring leaders, encourage them to set goals, encourage them to be their best. If they need a mentor, maybe it's not me. I don't have to do all of them, but I can find them a mentor to help them be the best that they can be and learn and grow. I've learned a lot on this journey. One thing that I've learned is life happens. Sometimes you just have to get through it the best that you can. I've also learned that you can't look at everything through the lens of a disaster. If something was really bad, set it aside and start fresh, start new. And anytime you have the opportunity, go read the instruction. Look at that learning module. Find out everything you can and get all the support that you can in any role that you want to undertake. In the words of Eleanor Roosevelt, do the thing that you think you cannot do, or in my case, that you think you don't ever want to do again. That, my friends, is my path forward.